Good afternoon to all of you, dear students. The topic of today's lecture is respiration and gaseous exchange. But this topic you will learn what are the body parts, which are the main parts for this gaseous exchange, what are the supporting parts which helps in the gaseous exchange, what is respiration. This process occurs in both the plants and animals. This process is of two types, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. In the case of aerobic respiration, a large amount of energy is released in comparison to anaerobic respiration. And it all dependent upon the air we breathe in, that is the air we inhale in, until and unless we are unable to breathe in air, so there will be no oxygen. And if there is no oxygen, there will be no respiration. So no ATP is released, whether it is the oxidative respiration, that is aerobic respiration, very important process for living cells obtaining energy. Whether it is the plant cells or the animal cells, they also need energy, plant cells. So this aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration also occurs in plants. Already we are learning the plant physiology. We learn in detail about the respiration, starting with today's lecture in detail. What is breathing in and breathing out? That is inhalation and exhalation. Breathing is the taking of air in and out of the lungs. That is process known as inhalation and exhalation. And gaseous exchange is the intake of oxygen, which is present in air apart from other gases. And in this gaseous exchange, oxygen, which is taken through air by the lungs, and the gaseous exchange takes place through the alveoli part of the lung. That is the main site for the exchange. Exchange, one gas is taken in, another gas is expelled out. Here the oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide is expelled out of the body. It is occurs at the lung surface. The main part, main site, it is alveoli. Both the processes are opposite to each other. Oxygen, it is inhaled and it moves from the alveoli part to the blood capillaries, and through the blood it moves to various types of cells which are taking part in the respiration. What is the main aim? To release energy. Beside energy, the other waste product released through this respiration, it is carbon dioxide. It has to be moved out of the body. So it is exchanged from this oxygen and it is reversely transported from these blood capillaries to the alveoli, where it is exhaled out. Cellular respiration is taking place inside all the cells for the need of energy for their functions. So it is the process that releases energy from the food. The food we take, how it is obtaining energy from food? It is through respiration process. This involves the three pathways: glycolysis, TCA cycle, and the most important, electron transport chain. This is the most important chain. Why? Because it is the site for release of most of the ATP. It is obtained from indirect form, which is through reduced NAD, FAD. Most of the NADH and FADH, the reduced form of NAD and FAD. What is this NAD and FAD? It is the nucleotide coenzyme. Mainly this NAD and FAD. They are in nature of nucleotide origin, but they are also vitamin B complex based coenzyme. Okay, this clear? NAD and FAD, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide and flavin adenine dinucleotide. Although they are in nature of nucleotide origin, but they are formed from vitamin B complex. They are the main precursors for ATP. In this way, you are seeing that vitamin B complex is also indirectly related for the ATP production through this NADH and FADH. The whole respiratory system, the supporting organ, the main organ, that is the lungs, containing alveoli, the site for gaseous exchange, the diaphragm, responsible for the process of breathing in and breathing out, that is inhalation and exhalation. During inhalation, it contracts in order to take the air in. The mucus and hair in our nose, they trap pathogens, disease causing microorganisms, and they also trap the dust. These infectious agents and the dust particle, they must be kept out of the delicate lung tissue so that only oxygen goes to the tissue through the air. No other inhibiting agents are going into the lungs. Apart from this nose, the sinus is also there. The blood-filled spaces that warm the air before it enters the lung. The natural phenomena for warming the air through these sinuses. Another supporting organ is epiglottis. What is this epiglottis? It is a flap of tissues, it is a group of tissues called the epiglottis. It stops food or water from going down the windpipe, also known as trachea, into the lung. The food we eat or water we take has to be separated, it is diverted from going inside into the trachea, that is windpipe, through which we take air inside. Through the process of taking air inside, the oxygen is taken inside the lungs. But from trachea, it is bronchi. They are also supporting organ. Told about the trachea, it is the windpipe, responsible for inhalation of air, transporting to the lungs. This trachea is protected and supported by rings of cartilage. These rings of cartilage also support bronchi. They end up in bronchioles. These bronchi, they branch into many smaller bronchioles, and bronchioles are not supported with cartilage. How the size of bronchiole is adjusted, whether it is dilating, swelling, or shrinking, it is through smooth muscles. A clear picture of how we breathe in and breathe out, that is inhalation and exhalation. Lungs Supporting organ, very important supporting organ, diaphragm. Inhalation is the process which happens because the diaphragm contracts. The ribs expand. This increases volume in the lungs and air comes inside the lungs. While exhalation is the opposite process. I told about you the respiration process, the release of energy from food we are taking through our diet by the living cells. Aerobic respiration, as the name clearly indicates that it requires oxygen. It releases more energy than anaerobic respiration. Already you have seen this overall summarized chemical reaction of respiration. Glucose is oxidized into CO2, water, and energy. So although this aerobic respiration releases more energy than anaerobic, but it is very slow in comparison to anaerobic respiration. This anaerobic respiration is very fast in the concerned organ where it is operating according to the situation or according to the normal process. The normal process and natural process, it occurs in the RBC. And while doing exercise, it occurs in the muscles. At that time, there is a rapid requirement of energy. However, low amount of energy is released. But it is releasing, it is giving energy. Mentioned where this anaerobic respiration occurs, it means it occurring without oxygen. Muscles can become low in oxygen under stress. Less energy. Continue to release energy without it. Important point to be noted. Makes energy without O2. The energy is low in number, ATP is released low in number, but it released very rapidly. What is the end product? Is lactic acid. Those persons are exercising heavily, especially in the gyms, they produce more and more lactic acid. It leads to muscle cramps, that is muscle pain. It is normally converted into pyruvic acid. Normally in our muscles, it is converted into pyruvic acid. When it is produced in excess amount, it will lead to muscle pain. It is lactic acid, acted poison, and builds up in the muscle in anaerobic exercise. Normally, it is transported to the liver when it is produced inside the muscles, where it is broken down again into pyruvic acid. This breakdown of lactic acid requires oxygen, and this process is known as oxygen depth. Since we are learning about the respiration, inhalation air which contains different types of gases, apart from the main oxygen, which is responsible for respiration phenomenon. The different types of gases is stable to the nature of gases. In almost all the cases, the air we breathe in This type of gases, CO2, oxygen, nitrogen, water vapor is present, and they are also present in the air we breathe out. That is the exhalation process. We are seeing the nitrogen is almost same in the air we breathe in and air breathe out. Oxygen is greater in the air we breathing in, low in the air we breathe out. Carbon dioxide is 0.04, but it is released in excess amount, it is 4%. Water vapor is low in the inhalation air, while in the exhalation air it is high. It is already revised that persons who are prone to attack during their accident, they are unable to breathe properly. So mouth to mouth breathing, that is ORT, is given so that you can again become easy to breathe. Different types of animals have different types of gas surface. Some of the animals have lungs, some have gills. The property of these surfaces, they have large surface area, they are connected, they are supplied lots of blood vessels to take gases away in order to maintain the concentration gradient. The property is that has to be moist. Gases exchange surface, whether it is the lungs or the gills, has to be moist, so gases can dissolve easily through diffusion process. And it must be very thin, so diffusion across the membrane is easy. We have learned that oxygen is taken in the lungs through alveoli, the main site for gas exchange. How this oxygen is transporting to the blood capillaries, because they are stick, they are very close to each other, and this alveolar part is very thin. So this oxygen can easily diffuse from the alveolar part to the blood capillary through the membrane. Concentration gradient means the concentration is higher on one side and lower on another side. So molecules will move away from the higher to the lower side in order to make a balance. So in this way, oxygen moves from alveolar part to the blood capillaries in order to get transported to various types of cells for the respiration process. Diffusion of gases, oxygen and CO2, they occur through the respiratory membrane. The respiratory membrane is composed of respiratory bronchiole, alveolar ducts, atria, and alveoli. Here in the figure, this is the main site where gases exchange takes place between O2 and CO2. What is this alveolus? They are air sacs. And bronchioles end up in this air part of air sac, known as alveoli. So the air which we inhale, it comes from this nose and mouth to the windpipe. Then it is taken to the bronchi and then bronchioles. Bronchiole is transferred to the alveoli. These alveoli, why it is the gaseous side? What are the main properties? Main property it is thin, very thin. What it makes sense thin? It means that the O2 can be easily transferred to the blood capillaries through membrane. Such is the amount of these alveoli. There are 300 million alveoli in the two lungs. Each alveoli has an average diameter of about 0.2 millimeter. There is no scarcity of alveoli in the lung. The main site for gaseous exchange between O2 and O2. These alveoli are extremely thin, and between the alveoli, almost a solid network of interconnecting capillaries. This oxygen to the air we take inside the alveoli, transferred to the capillaries through the membrane. Clearly shown how capillaries are connected to the alveolus. These are the properties. The first and the main important, they are thin for rapid diffusion. They are moist for diffusion of gases. Another important property. And they are surrounded by lots of blood vessels, that is capillaries, carry oxygen, that is transporting oxygen from alveoli to the different parts of the cells. Last but not the least, they have a very large surface area. What is the main agent which is responsible for the diffusion of gases between the gas phase in the alveoli and the dissolved phase in pulmonary blood? Oxygen exists in the gaseous phase in the alveoli, while carbon dioxide is existing in the dissolved phase in the pulmonary blood. This has to be exchanged. What is the main agent? Is the partial pressure. This is responsible for the exchange of gases, that is O2 and CO2. The difference between these partial pressure is applied for the exchange of gases. It is clearly mentioned if the partial pressure is greater in the gaseous phase in the alveoli, that is the case for oxygen, then more and more molecules will diffuse into the blood than in the other direction. फिर blood में diffuse होगा क्योंकि the partial pressure ज़्यादा है. While in comparison to carbon dioxide, the partial pressure of this gas, that is CO2, is greater in the dissolved state in the blood. So it is moving in the opposite direction. Direction means it will move from the blood capillaries to the alveoli. Then it is exhaled out of the body. Here it is mentioned what the replacement theory. The air will be breathing to replacing the alveolar, but it is not true. Alveolar air is only replaced by atmospheric air with each breath. So oxygen is constantly being absorbed into the pulmonary blood from the alveolar air, and carbon dioxide is constantly diffusing from the pulmonary blood into the alveoli. Dry atmospheric air that enters the respiratory passages is humidified before it reaches the alveoli. So these alveolar gases, they are in very close proximity, very near to the blood capillary. Very making it very easy for the gas ejection because of this close proximity. These are important characteristics for the exchange of gases or diffusion of gases. That is why it is marked with red. Gases exchange between the alveolar air and the pulmonary blood occurs through the membranes of all terminal portion of the lungs, not only in the alveoli. All these membranes are known as respiratory membrane, also called pulmonary membrane. What are the factors? Concluding part of this topic, that is gaseous exchange. What are the factors that affect the rate of gas diffusion to the respiratory membrane? It is the thickness of the membrane, the capacity of the membrane, the diffusion coefficient of the gas, the substance of the membrane, and the partial pressure. Very important. Partial pressure difference of the gas between the two sides of the membrane. How much is the diffusion? How much easy is the diffusion? But there has to be difference in partial pressure of the two gases, that is O2 and CO2, in order to make the transport easy. That is the exchange process becomes easy due to the difference in partial pressure. On this slide, it is becomes clear, very clear, what is the respiratory membrane, how O2 and CO2 gases exchanges occurs. We are seeing the lungs part, that is the main site alveolus, surrounded by capillaries, very close proximity. Their membranes are very close. This makes it easier to transfer O2 from the air we breathe in towards the RBC present in the blood capillaries. This RBC will transport oxygen to all other cells for the respiration process. And when CO2 is released from the respiration process, most of the CO2 is transported by this RBC again to the blood capillaries membrane, fusing with the membrane of alveolus, and it is taken inside the alveolus and exhaled out by the body. Red blood cells are a very important process, that is RBC. They take up oxygen from the lungs and release carbon dioxide back to the lungs. At one time, they are taking up